So it looks like Morimoto's universal kit has 3 different options besides the RGBW and the white version, and that is it can come with either 4 pods, 6 pods, or 8 pods. So if you like a lot of light in your wheel wells or underneath your vehicle, maybe the 8 pod light kit is for you. Let's open up an RGB kit and show you what comes inside the box. First off, the packaging does look pretty cool. Let's open it up and see what's inside. We got a little thank you card. Thank you, I appreciate that. And 4 pods. So this is the 4 pod light kit. So let's pull out one of these pods. It looks like this, and it's actually not that thick. I don't want a real thick pod light or rock light. It's actually pretty condensed. I've seen some rock lights that are just way too thick, and this right here, the thickness of this is not too bad. You're not gonna really be able to see this when you're walking up to your vehicle, and you can hide it pretty well in, say, your fender flare or even underneath your vehicle. So what I can tell, there is 6 LED chips on here, and these are gonna be RGB, which means they're going to change colors. You can pick any color in the entire world that you can think of with a Bluetooth app. Now, I've seen this Bluetooth app from Morimoto before. Morimoto has this, and you can do more than just pick your color. You can also have it strobe, or you can have it fade in and out. So I'm assuming that that Bluetooth app will be running this, and it will be able to do the exact same thing. So before we dive in further on those rock lights, let's look at the controller. This also comes with the Bluetooth controller. This one does sync up to the Morimoto app. And as you can see, there's some connections on the back. Something a little different that I'm not used to is it's actually got barrel connectors on this Bluetooth controller. It used to be just these JST connections so I could plug in some RGB strips for my GMC Sierra I had back in the day. We did use this same kind of controller, but all it had was this right here. Now, it's got these barrel connectors, which in my opinion is much more waterproof. So if you are gonna use this kit and you have these connectors that are under your vehicle and it's raining, snowing, sleeting, you're not gonna have wiring issues, so good on Morimoto for that. As you look up here, there's some extra wiring, which is extension harnesses, and I'm assuming there's 4 of them. Yes, so this is the 4 rock light kit, the RGB rock light kit, which means there's 4 extension harnesses. And I'm interested to see how long this is because there are a lot of kits on the market today that do have extension harnesses, but they're not long enough. And I've had to cut and splice and solder and use heat shrink. And when it's underneath the vehicle, I hate that. So hopefully these are longer. Yes, these are much longer than they used to be. That is a very big win for Morimoto. This is much needed and a much improved version of a rock light kit because we've tested when we did that shootout, we cut that wiring up 3 different times. This is a much needed upgrade to a rock light kit than you normally would get. If the extension harnesses are not long enough, what's the point of this waterproof barrel connector if you're just going to cut and splice? So good on Morimoto for that. Let's keep rolling. As I can see here, this kind of looks like the Morimoto 4-banger relay harness. So thankfully Morimoto has thought ahead and not just used some off-the-shelf terrible switch. They've used their Morimoto switch that we've grown to love at Headlight Revolution. As you follow this down, I do see some more wires here. And if you dig in the kit, you'll notice this right here, which is a fuse tap on this side. So you can plug this in. And then this, I assume, is going to get the power from the fuse box. I'm gonna show you guys an install later on. I just wanted to go through this kit really quick and then show you the white version in just a second. You'll also notice the negative battery terminal and this other barrel connector. This barrel connector would get connected to that Bluetooth controller, and then from there, all of your rock lights and extension harnesses would get connected to your Bluetooth controller. I'm almost done. There's still so much more in this kit that I'm pretty excited to look for. There's some zip ties, so you're not gonna have any wiring hanging down. That's good. And some of these bolts. Now, I've seen stuff like this before, but I haven't quite seen these. These look like self-tapping screws. Yes, screws with an Allen head, as you can see here. That's gonna be real ingenious for mounting these pod lights. Guys, mounting the pod lights is a completely different animal than even having a bright pod light, because if you can't mount it properly, it's just gonna fall off your vehicle. That's the last thing you want. And oftentimes that fender liner is just plastic, so you don't want something that's not going to mount securely when you're driving down the road. As you can see, this one right here has a mount here and here. So you can use these screws supplied from Morimoto and mount it on each side. But I do see on the back side here and in the center, there's another screw, and I do see some magnet mounts. I've seen these magnet mounts before. These magnet mounts are epic. This is so you don't even have to screw into your vehicle. If you're scared of hitting a brake line or something like that, definitely recommend using a magnet mount. So overall, in this RGB kit, I will say it has all the ingredients to make a really good rock light. Now I'm interested to see if they are bright. So let's go mount those on a couple of our vehicles and see if it's worth actually installing. After doing the lengthy install on my Ford Bronco, can I recommend this to my friends? Absolutely. The wiring was long enough, so I didn't have to extend the wiring like I suspected. Guys, that is terrible. I hate cutting and splicing and soldering wires. I also noticed the Bluetooth app was very easy to use, and it works with any of the new iPhones, old iPhones, any new Android, or any update that's out there. That has been a recent thing that I heard a lot of complaints about. Thankfully, Morimoto has updated their app. And I also noticed when I downloaded the app from the App Store, it was very user-friendly using that Bluetooth app to control the pod lights. I have the latest phone with the latest iOS update, and it worked perfectly. Thankfully, Morimoto has really upgraded their app, so it's more user-friendly. So I wanted to dive in just a little deeper to truly find out why this one was best. So I went on the Morimoto website and browsed around. If you wanted to use just the white rock lights, they have 12 LED chips, and they're all 1-watt LEDs, so they're extremely bright, and there's 12 of them. So if you really truly want that bright white color, this is a very good kit for you. Like I said, the RGB version has 6 LEDs. They're all 1-watt LEDs as well, and those things are killer bright. On my Bronco, I've got 8 pod lights now, and to be honest, it's one of the brightest kits that I've yet to see. I read that the magnet mounts are rated for an 8 kg load, which is approximately 40 times more than the weight of each rock light. So if you think they're gonna fall out using the magnet mounts, they're simply not going to. If you are worried about these falling off your vehicle with just using a magnet mount and no screws, do not worry because these magnets are powerful. I also noticed that these rock lights have a lifetime warranty. So it sounds to me like Morimoto is not concerned about these failing. Look, we test a ton of different LED products every single day, and if it's not any good, we're not gonna put it on our website, headlightrevolution.com. These ones definitely get the HR tested stamp of approval, and this is what I'm gonna be using for my Ford Bronco from here on out. Is this the brightest rock light in the world? Well, as of what I've tested so far, yeah, it is one of the brightest out there, but I know there's so many other brands that we didn't test in our previous shootout. So post those in the comments below because we definitely wanna test them out, put them against each other, and make a second generation rock light shootout. Guys, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and go to headlightrevolution.com, type in your year, make, and model, and you'll see everything else that we have tested for your specific vehicle.